Hey everyone, welcome to The Ordinary Professor. My name is Dr. Kortney Peagram and I'm the host of the YouTube channel. So it's pretty late in the evening and I wanted to make sure that I covered this topic before I headed out for the day. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my videos because I send weekly topics on social skills, interpersonal dynamics, emotional intelligence, and all things feelings. So thanks for joining me. I want to do a short tutorial on what is the difference between conflict management and conflict resolution. So in my classes this week, we explored the difference, and I figured, you know what? I should tell the masses about this because sometimes we forget. Okay, so let's define conflict. So conflict is basically a disagreement between people. It could be misalignment in goals. Maybe there's a different process that you do something the way I do it. So that could be task conflict. Okay. Now there's also relational conflict. So that's when you don't like someone for some reason. It could be their personalities, their values, their beliefs, part of themselves, the way they speak to you. It could be they just rub you the wrong way. So that's relational conflict. So those are two different let's say terms. Now the other thing that I thought was really helpful in preparing my lecture, and also I just did a training on conflict management and resolution, was understanding the difference between conflict management and conflict resolution. That is critical. So here's my take. So conflict management is you're kind of just putting a band-aid over it. You're like, okay, let's fix this so that we can move on. So we can get it done. So that we can say, we don't agree. So let's agree to disagree and figure out a solution. That's conflict management. Now, conflict resolution is getting to the root cause of why are we actually disagreeing? What is at the core? Oftentimes it's, let's say, hurt feelings, misunderstanding, or it has something to do a little deeper than just like a task conflict. Now, here's the thing that I love when I do the training is if there's a conflict that keeps resurfacing or people are constantly arguing about something, I think that conflict management is no longer working. You need to move to conflict resolution. Because if we just keep putting a band-aid on things, things will keep resurfacing. So if you find yourself in a pattern or you're looping in conflict, probably conflict management isn't working for you anymore. Now, there's different solutions when it comes to conflict management. I'm going to tell you about a few models, and then I'll explain how to use them. So there's the SBI model, which is situation, behavior, impact, and intent. So it could be SBII or SBI, regardless. And when I explain these frameworks, the only thing I want you to take away is whatever is useful for you, right? So I love the start, stop, continue model. I love the SBI. There's a lot of things that I like, but it's not like I need the acronyms. You just need to know how to do the thing. Okay, so let's think about SBI when it comes to conflict management. So I would do is I'd be, okay, what's the situation? What's going on? I need the deets. Figure out what's going on with the situation. Now, after you figure out the situation, you have to figure out, is it task or relational? Because that really makes a difference. And then you figure out the behaviors. Okay, so what is happening? You know why I like SBI too? We're not going too deep into the feelings. We're really focusing on behavior. So behavior modification and the behaviors that are appropriate or inappropriate and what is causing the conflict. And then the next thing is intent and impact. So intent is, what is the intention? What is, so we're slightly starting to touch upon the feelings without saying, how do we feel about it? And so maybe the intention is, I just need this to be done this way. And someone else's intention is I get that you want to do it this way, but that's not going to work for me. Boom, task conflict. Okay. Now the last is impact. What is the impact of the situation? Is it holding back our, maybe holding back a timeline? The project is delayed. It's costing the company money. So that's why it's really important to talk about these things so that we can conflict manage, put a band-aid on it, fix it so we can get through this, so we can get to the timeline, we can get the project out the door, we can save money, okay? So that's how you use SBI. Now, if you're going to use the start, stop, continue model when it comes to conflict management, you'd say, okay, I would start and say, okay, let's start talking about what's working for us. What do we want to start doing here? Okay, so start. What are the behaviors we want to start doing? Okay, what are the behaviors we want to stop doing when we want to continue doing? So this is a feedback model I use often, but it helps with conflict because if we start thinking about what we want to start doing because things aren't working for us, we're kind of brainstorming. But it takes a certain person, like type of person, to be able to go that way versus like kind of going back and talking deeper about the conflict. Now, lastly, when it comes to conflict management, you have to decide which model works best for you. Here's a rule of thumb. If you're managing conflict, you have to ask yourself and also the person that you're having the conflict with, why are we here? What do we want to resolve? Are we fighting to win? What can we get out of this? How can this be beneficial for both of us? And how, I love this, how do we move the needle forward? I think that's really critical to talk about. Now, something you need to ask yourself, are you in it to win it? Like, if you just want to win the conflict, and I don't mean to be like totally blunt, but if your ego's getting in your way and you just want to be right, it's going to be hard to resolve conflict. You might be able to manage it, but you also might be pushing your own influence and power to get what you want, and that's not always good. So I really want you to think about, for you, what's in it for you? What's going on? Is your status being threatened? Do you feel unseen, unheard? What is creating that conflict? And oftentimes I find when I deregulate and there's conflict, it's because the thing is annoying maybe, or it's frustrating to me, but there's also like other things going on, and it's like a scaffolding effect. Like it's been piling up, right? So instead of managing things in the moment, if things start to pile up, then it blows up bigger than it should be. So it's good to always do a self-check before we go checkmate the other, okay? So these are some ideas when we're thinking about conflict management and resolution. I hope this is helpful. I have a ton of more resources, and we're running some training soon about conflict management resolution, but I figured why not share what I know so far. So thanks for listening. If you like what I have to share, please subscribe below. Thanks. Bye.